Hello, good people of YouTube, Dante here。你好啊，大家，我係 Dante。曾經有人問我呢，究竟我屋企收藏咗幾多隻飛機？咁呢個問題呢，我就都好難答你哋。咁但係呢，就我相信都超過100隻啦。不過小弟家貧呢，咁屋企又唔係好多位，咁冇辦法一次過俾大家睇晒咁多隻啦。咁我又唔係喺民航處做嘅，亦都冇開餐廳，咁所以就冇辦法啦。咁今日咧就帶大家睇下我收藏咗啲乜嘢我認為最得意啊、最有價值啊，或者對我嚟講最有意義嘅飛機模型啦。咁喺開始之前呢，咁就容小弟講少少。咁小弟曾經其實一直都以嚟都喺航空界裏邊做啦。I was starting my career in aviation industry all along this year. I think it's for already like 7 years, I guess. 咁已經7年嘅啦，我相信都。So I live in a tiny house, so I can't share all my collection together once because it's too small. My house is too bloody small, so I try to find some of this aircraft model that means more or specifically means something to me. So today I would like to share this. Okay. This those cars, they are not related actually. But just for 裝飾, how to say, whatever. So let me introduce. Before we start, also, I used to be an engineer, not really an engineer, but engineering staff. They call me ground engineer, but whatever. I used it to be an engineer for a Singapore airline based background maintenance organized firm in aircraft maintenance firm in Hong Kong. So for around 2 years something. So the rest of the time I spent I used it to do my own flying in US, in Australia, flying the Cessna, and I used it to taxi the aircraft as Boeing 777, Boeing 767, and 747 in Hong Kong airports. And I operate many aircraft, no matter in the sky or on the ground. 咁我以前做過一啲比較 technical 嘅飛機維修嘅工作啦，咁亦都有自己喺澳洲啊，同埋呢個美國有學過飛行啦。咁呢啲飛機對我嚟講呢，其實就我唔可以講我全部都見識過，咁但係呢，就好多型號啦，對我嚟講都有一個故事嘅。咁大多數我都見過啦，咁除咗呢架之外，呢架咧就係Antonov 225，咁就係世界上最大嘅飛機啦。It's the biggest aircraft. I think it's the biggest. At least it is the heaviest machine ever. The human create. So maybe 我可以由而家開始用英文啦，因為都好難用中文繼續講落去，因為要花雙重嘅時間。好啦 ，So when I begin my career in 2000 in aviation industry in 2000 and I think it's 2013， 係啦，2013年啦。The first time I in the airport, I used it to be a catering staff. So the first time I ever into the aircraft cabin, the first aircraft is this one, A380. So this aircraft is actually produced by Herpa, the die-cast aircraft model. Very typical. Herpa is a very famous brand. They work with Singapore Airlines to produce the 1/500 scale model. Used it to be as a duty-free items as a in-flight duty-free items on board. So basically, this is exclusive. This model is exclusive for Singapore Airlines in-flight sale. So you can't buy anywhere in this planet else except from the Singapore Airlines in-flight sale magazine. So you have to take the flight to somewhere else. But already it's discontinued. So it's so rare right now. Some people they put it on the eBay ask for more than 200 euro or something. It's crazy. So I will leave this for the last. It's Air Hong Kong A300. Leave it for the last. There's a reason I put it right there. So the Antonov, I never met the real aircraft, but I seen the Antonov 124, which is the smaller variant. It's not a variant. It's actually 225 is developing from the 124. So 124 has the one tail, and there's each side. There is one less engine. So if you see something similar, it might be 124, AN 124. So the difference is, except the two additional engines, the tail divided into two is because the vertical stabilizer divided into two sides is because this Antonov 225 used to be a space program for Soviet Union. So it's a very interesting story that the arms race, the space race between the US and the Soviet Union during the Cold War. So the space shuttle Baron actually planned it to put on this aircraft. So this aircraft is actually designed to carry the Soviet space shuttle, like the 747 in US. So when the space shuttle carried outside, you can't put it inside, so it's carried in externally. So when you put the space shuttle here, it will generate the tail, the structure, the existing of the additional carry out the space shuttle will generate some turbulence. So it will affect the stability. I don't know. It was a bit, but it will generate negative effect to the tail. So it will be affecting the flight performance. I think it's something similar as I know. So that's why the tail is designing in that way. So this is absolutely glorious. So in additionally, this aircraft is also Herpa Club. This manufacturer of this die-cast model is also called Herpa Club. The Herpa Club is a club that you can pay a certain amount of money and then you can join in, and there's an exclusive model for this member. So this model is actually so rare because it's a limited edition and also a club member exclusive edition. So So for this 747, obviously, so it is a latest variant of 747 series. It's the 747-8. So the engine is the latest generation kind. It's a GE NX, next generation. I don't know why, but perhaps they are not releasing so much 7X7 club model. So this thing sold out within several days after release. So I guess it will become very expensive later on. I don't know, but I seen this aircraft in the airport, in Hong Kong airport. It's very beautiful, and there was a flight crew on the internet I know. I still knowing him, but not very close. But he is we have conversation, but we never met. But he is so good on photography, and he used it to be, I think he just promoted to be a captain today. I don't remember, I don't know, but it seems to be. And he's the first officer for this aircraft. He took a lot of great photos, and he got a lot of reward in the cockpit, from the cockpit to outside. Yeah, it's very nice aircraft. I used it to be a mechanic for this aircraft, for the Lufthansa 747-8 passenger variant for this aircraft. Freighter, I also been upstairs, but not so frequent. Yes, for UPS actually. So the freighter and the passenger actually so similar, but just the side is there should be a cargo door or something here. Yeah, different. And also the most significant is the nose. The nose actually can open up, not for this model, I mean for the real aircraft. It's a very good feature. So let's talk about, it's also very interesting that the 747 actually win the race between the A380 in the freighter market. It's very interesting because actually I think that Boeing has the DNA of freighter for cargo aircraft, instead the Airbus actually not really. Yeah, so you can put some really long cargo from that point all the way until a certain point, instead of that tiny cargo door. No, that's not tiny actually, but it's relatively tiny. I think it's a very good machine for airline. So there's a lot of 747-8 right now in the Hong Kong airport, and also all around the world, in Anchorage maybe, yeah, instead of A380 you can't see anymore nearly. Well, that's sad. Okay, so the 787, obviously is the latest entire new model for the Boeing. It has been a lot of problem with the living battery, but it seems right now it's very stable now. So this model is actually also the same with this exclusive for Singapore Airlines in-flight cell. Is the model is actually the 7X7-10. So well, that's weird. That's -10. It's in the old days there's no such dash. There's 10, there. Anyway, so this model is the largest variant of 787 family. So it's not the longest range. The -9 has the longest range. The -10 actually can carry most passenger, and the -8 is the smallest. So before I left the company, before I left Singapore Airlines, I have never seen this, but I purchased from somewhere else, from my friend. But I've been I used to be a mechanic, and also they call it brake rider. So I use I on the cockpit I control all the stuff except the towing truck, and cross the runway, do the VHF communication with the ATC control, and ensure there's no traffic regarding to departure or arrival. There's no aircraft on the takeoff run or the landing. So I can, after I got the clearance from the ATC, and I will release the brake and tell the truck driver, the tow truck driver, to start towing, and I operate the rest. I use to I will responsible to switch off the APU, the battery stuff. Well, maybe let's talk about this technical later. But yeah, I've been there nearly every week, several times. Yeah, but dash line variant instead of dash 10, but this dash 10. So before we go, this one we have to talk about this. This is the McDonnell Douglas MD-11. So I used to be a mechanic also for this aircraft. I've been in the cockpit, not very familiar with the system or these buttons or control. Well, control is similar, but yeah, not very familiar with the in deep for this aircraft regarding to the system buttons. Where are they? And not really know. But in the cockpit once only. The interesting thing is, yeah, the third engine. That's not the third engine. Basically, we call it one, the captain side, the port side, the starboard, and then the captain seat at the left. So it's a port side. So it's basically start from there, the engine number 1, 2, and 3. So interesting thing is the engine number 2 existence, and yeah, this trijet is so typical during some years in the old days, but not now. Maybe the safety problem, but the concern. But yeah, it's very beautiful, and you can see the CG is actually goes back because the engine is heavy. So the wing is actually goes back a little bit together, and then yeah, the troublesome thing is this engine at the top. If there is a problem, if there is a defect, there's a malfunction, you have to replace it or open it. Even you have to go up, and imagine how difficult it is. Yeah, so that's the point. So this is, I think it's the MD-11 ER. ER stands for extended range. So this is also exclusive for the Herpa Club. So everything is exclusive. So I don't try to not to mention further. Yeah. So it's very beautiful. I think Tem rarely come to Hong Kong right now. No, rarely come to Hong Kong in the old days. But since the COVID-19, yeah, everyone wearing mask, and then. So they changed the name of become LATAM, LATAM, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they starting to come to do some. I think it's doing some extensive checks things to Hong Kong, to HAECO, the HAECO. That's a very famous MRO in Hong Kong. So in the old days, we rarely see this airline coming. Yeah, it's very nice aircraft indeed. Very detailed. Concorde. No, I try not to mention in detail because everyone knows. In the old days, so noisy. The glorious supersonic airliner. Perhaps the only practical surfacing supersonic airliner ever. Well, I'm not lucky enough to have opportunity to take a ride But oh, by the way, this is also exclusive. Oh shit, no, yeah, exclusive. This particular number for the real aircraft, it holds the fastest test flight record ever in Atlantic something, I don't know, but yeah, it's very beautiful. Okay, so and one thing is the engine is different compared to other airliner. First of all, it's obviously not high bypass turbofan. I think it's low bypass, I don't know, but it is capable to do supercruise. Supercruise means you don't need to do another reheat. So normally the jet fuel through the combustion chamber and then goes into the turbine before it exhausting, before it comes out from the engine exhaust, the nozzle. But most military combat aircraft, like the F-16, F-22, the fighter aircraft, or some supersonic bomber, they are capable to reach supersonic and accelerate like a bullet. They have the afterburner, also called reheat. So after the fuel through the turbine, and they will make another reheat. So the fuel directly inject and then without through another stage of turbine will goes out. So you will see a huge flame coming out from the nozzle when they are taking off. So that is reheat. So normally we don't see any flame coming out from the engine nozzle. It's because that is normal. If you see a flame, that may be a problem. That would be a normal airliner. If you see a flame, that would be a problem. From the exhaust, you see a fire. But for combat aircraft, you see the flame. You may be even even see the march disc in the space shuttle main engine, the march disc like thing when they are taking off. So without using reheat, this aircraft can reach supersonic. So they generally call supercruise. Save a lot of fuel because all the fuel will go through the turbine, and they will do the engine cycle. So save a lot of fuel. So this is obviously the greatest creation, one of the kind of the aviation history and the engineering. Yeah, sorry, I talk too much. So this one, A350. I used it to stay in this aircraft cockpit mode, and generally I can very confidently say I used it to take control of this aircraft in the sky, because since COVID-19 there is an airline opened up the simulator, this airline simulator, I mean not the recreation simulator, and I have opportunity to regularly doing training in this aircraft simulator. Yeah, but yeah, I also used it to be a mechanic in this aircraft. It's a very nice aircraft, and comparing to 787, some people they trying to put these two aircraft together to compare regarding to their performance or comfort of passenger, but I try to do no comments regarding to the comfort, but for the cockpit I will choose the A350, because A350 is an Airbus. So if some people here who use it to be a pilot, you try to share, you try to meet somebody in the opposite fleet. So if you are a Boeing pilot and you try to ask somebody in the Airbus fleet, you will see the difference because they have a meal table. They have a meal table. It's a very comfortable to have your meal time during in-flight. You have a table in front of you, but unfortunately the Boeing, you have the yoke and you have to put a lot of power to struggle with, and well, that is very depends on individual. That if you really love or flying, then I have no comments. Or if you just yes, you love flying, but you also thinking you're doing this job for another 10 years, then well, I would choose Airbus actually, because you have a meal table and you have nothing blocking your leg, something. Yeah, but yeah, so well, both of them, they are a very good aircraft. The A350 from 900 comparing the triple, where is it? Yeah, here. Comparing to 777-300 ER, the fuel consumption, I don't have the official figure, but because they are the different generation, obviously. But the A350 is actually so fuel efficient because the 350-900 from Hong Kong to Singapore, and then the 777-300 ER, the same route from Hong Kong to Singapore. 777 costs 30, and then 30 I explain later. A350 only costs 26.8, so it's 27. Well, 27, I don't remember if this is pound or ton, maybe ton, I don't remember, but it's obviously, although 777 may carry a little bit more passenger, but the fuel consumption, the winner is obviously the A350. The latest generation of a Rolls-Royce engine, I used it to be a technician for the XWB engine as well. So I used it to disassembly and assembly to put it back together again in the not Rolls-Royce engine. That is a firm. It's a joint venture between Rolls-Royce and Heiko something, I don't remember. It called Hazel. So Hong Kong Aero Engine Service Limited something. Yeah, it's a very good aircraft and a very good engine. It's a very silent engine. Yeah, so yeah, so some people, they trying to put them together. I say they are not the same category, because 777, 350, 787, 330, they have different capacity and the takeoff weight limitation. So basically, in Hong Kong, if you are flying to US, most of the airline, they will pick 777. So now they pick 350 because it's the, you know, in the market is nearly like the successor. But you rarely heard from Hong Kong to US cross nearly half of this planet, across half of the range of this all the way crossing Pacific. You rarely heard there is an airline using 330. So that's the case. In deeper, I'm not really a marketing guy, but so the fleet management. So, but I do roughly know what what it is happening. So 330 and 777 is obviously two category. So Cathay, the 330 and the 777, they are flying to different places. They have such kind of management, like most of the airline. So, oh yes. So this Mcdonald, now this one. This is Lockheed Martin. I'm not sure it's Lockheed Martin or Lockheed. So it's TriStar L11011. So is Pan Am. So the special thing is this variant is called 1011-500 Pan Am. 500 has a longer range, and the more powerful engine compared to the earliest variant. So, sorry. From here, the engine compared to this one actually has the inlet here, but the exhaust is from here. So actually the engine is here. It's at the APU place, like near normally the aircraft the APU is here. So the APU place actually replaced by an engine. So this inlet has an S-shaped tunnel, and the airflow actually goes in from here and through an S tunnel to the engine. So it's very special. But this aircraft is so advanced, I heard in the old days. So this variant compared to the Cathay Pacific one in the old days, this variant 200 and 500, this 500 actually has a little bit different compared to 200. Is here the little root supporting this inlet. There's a little different compared to 200. The 200 so maybe I try not to explain too much because I only seen pictures from the internet. So but that is a different. Yeah, it's a very good aircraft, I guess. It's so advanced because Lockheed Martin, they actually the very big weapon. They make military aircraft so well, even nowadays. But they only, I guess, unfortunately, they failed to the civil market. Well, that's entirely different rules that if you're trying to win in the civil market and the military market. Well, I don't know further, so I try not to explain. Then, so we have 777. 777, this thing is exclusively for the sorry, not BR. It's actually exclusive for the in-flight sale for this airline. I think it's called Eve Air. Is it Eve Air? 長榮航空 BR is a very famous airline of the ROC, that's Taiwan. Well, based on there's a little sensitive, so I try to avoid this discussion. Taiwan or China, whatever, you know. So for this model, you see it is so detailed. no matter the engine, the cabin door, the emergency exit, all this so perfect, and it is also so expensive. Yeah. So 777 300 ER no further explain the largest engine ever, GE115. Sorry, not GE115, GE90-115B. So it's the biggest aircraft engine ever. No matter, even including the military engine, is still the biggest champion. A very good aircraft. Many years in work for this aircraft for many airlines. So hang on. So for this Garuda, I never been this aircraft. I used it to do my duty in the Garuda Indonesia A340, but I left the company a bit while ago, so not very lucky enough to get into this aircraft. But most of the regarding to the real aircraft, most of the design and things, no change. The windshield, yes, it's not very much changed. Okay. So this thing is Herpa exclusive, and then you see the antenna here is very detailed. The engine, the Trent 7000, I guess, yeah. I haven't seen the real thing. And there's a mask. That's that. This cover hit the industry so hard, everyone lost their job, and even now. Hopefully I still have a job, yes. But not for aircraft. Yeah. Maybe I will get back to it. I hope get back to the industry, get back to the aircraft field. Yeah, soon. I hope. So 727. 727. Same. I never seen the real stuff. 717 never seen, but I seen the MD90, MD90. So this aircraft is actually not by Boeing. 717 is actually from Mcdonald Douglas, and Douglas, yeah. I've been the Douglas DC-9 in Australia. It's an old aircraft. It's already abandoned. No, it's a simulator. I forgot. But yeah, it's a very tiny cockpit, and the special thing is this aircraft compared to MD-90. This thing is fly-by-wire. So if you don't know what is fly-by-wire, I might be. You can actually try to search it in the internet. So it's nowadays all the big aircraft they fly by wire, except the maybe 737. I don't know why. Yeah. So this 727, the special feature for the real aircraft, the X-ray Alpha Delta Uniform Juliet, this particular number, this aircraft, actually there's a little strange at the back here. You see, try to search in the internet if you're interested to know. This aircraft can taking off in a hot and high condition. So if you are a pilot and you never really want a hot and high condition, if your aircraft is fully loaded, because hot air is less dense. Your wing need more air to produce lift. And high, what is high? Hot and high. And high means you are at this high sea level airport. And high place has less dense air also. So put it together and you experience low lift, your wing. So you need to, in order to produce more lift, you need bigger wing. Well, you can't do it really. Or you put one more flap. Well, maybe not good idea. Or you need higher speed. Well, the one way can't afford, because when you're getting higher speed, that's not very good idea as well. So some people in the old days think out of, even nowadays, some military aircraft, they're using the jet assist takeoff, the JATO. So this aircraft has a little strange at the back. You can't see it from here because this model has no different compared to other 727. But the real aircraft actually has some strange at the back. I don't know if it's fuel tank or what, but there is at the belly, at the just about below the wing here, there is a several hole that actually is a rocket. Can't say it's an engine, but it's a rocket bottle. It's a rocket exhaust. That's it. So during takeoff, when reaching a certain speed, there's a button in the cockpit, and you can put it on, and the rocket will engage. So when the rocket engage, will gain speed and also lift, because the rocket is not actually pointing to exact backward. There is a several angle and then actually pointed to the ground. Yeah, that's a very interesting thing. And yeah, you see the golden paint and the silver paint, so beautiful. And the 200 series, the variant is also a more powerful variant of 727. I think it's also the last, I don't remember. 717, not it's just from the 7X7, 777, and the 757, 747, and then the 717 to get between the 707 and 737. But it's also exclusively for Herpa Club. Oh, shut up. Yes. Now this not exclusive, but it's so beautiful. I mean, it's very nice model. The A220, 220, yes, 220 300 is the larger variant of the CS300. Yes, CS300 is actually a Bombardier aircraft, but you know, it's being purchased by Boeing. By Airbus. So I seen the real aircraft, never been inside, but so advanced. The engine is a latest generation, and I know the it is using side stick, so there's no yoke and the big screen, and never really inside, but seen in the internet. I seen the real aircraft in the air show. Yeah, it's very beautiful aircraft. Yeah. Oh, this one, 340. The Airbus A340, maybe not obviously not the most successful. Maybe not the, hope it's not the worst, but it's also very beautiful. I've been the South African airline, Virgin Atlantic, but afterward they replaced it by 7X7-9. Not very special inside the cabin, like the 330, just like the 330. Everything is seems like the same. In the cockpit, you will see the different the throttle, the engine throttle. At the center, there are two more engine, obviously. The rest not really big different. Some pilots said it's not very good aircraft because the CG is bad. Yeah, so because it's long, very length, you can see, compare this length compared with its size. So weird, yeah. Yeah, but it's also make it so beautiful. Yeah, the engine, I heard some engineers said it is actually overpowered, so it's not a very efficient and integrated design. Obviously not. In the old generation, the 340 has a tiny engine, so it's underpowered. The climb is so slow, but this one is overpowered. So I think they derated the engine. I don't know. I just heard from some professional, but I can't guarantee what they are saying is 100% correct. So yeah, just think it as a rumor. Yeah. Here, I used it to work to serve this airline, but not this aircraft. I was on the DC-10-30, DC-10-30 ER. Not ER, 30. It's the last flight. I've been the last flight, not as a passenger, as a mechanic, and a goodbye flight for this airline, the DC-10. Sorry. Yes, the camera is at the corner. Yeah. So 310. I don't know. Everyone was saying 310, but A300 and A310. I don't know how they are saying for this aircraft. So I think it's the shorter and longer range version of this A300. It's an older generation. Never served this aircraft before, but I think it's very similar with A300. So A300 is so advanced at that time. There's a lot of features, and the only 2 crew member. In the old days, there's a third flight engineer on board, and I don't know further, but is the elder for Airbus family. And the interesting thing is, I've been in the cockpit of the 300, and the cockpit has a yoke at the middle, so it's not the side stick. So if you are a pilot for this aircraft, you will have no meal table. That's sad. Yeah. Okay, so United. This 737 has a special winglet. Now, this is not the mass. This is not the 737 mass. This actually the older, not older. This is the next generation 737. So mass is the even modern variant. So this is the older variant. 900 rarely see in Hong Kong, so that's why it is special for me. United, yeah, okay. So United, yes, in Hong Kong, yes, there is, but not 900. So rare to see 900 variant in Hong Kong. Is the longest, not the longest. I mean the most carry the most passenger variant, together with this special winglet. Yeah, I have seen the United. They made the an advertising regarding to this winglet. they mentioned, they said this is the latest technology. I have a doubt. So okay, so 340. Now this thing I just mentioned already, but I try to I have to say this model is actually not for sale. I don't know where it's come from. Maybe from somebody stole it. Well, maybe purchases from somebody in the factory from Herpa. But this is not for sale because this is a sample and it's so perfect. No damage, no defect, nothing. Never been released in outside. Yeah. So yeah, so special. Erosion. I don't know. Erosion. Whatever. Yeah. 伊留申. So it's a Russian aircraft. So similar, right? But there's a lot of different. The engine is from the Eastern, from the Russia. It's the latest variant of IL-96 family, IL-86 and then IL-96, and 96 has a 300 variant and this 400. I don't know what is the big difference. I forgot. Maybe I know, but I read some data, some reference on the internet, but I forgot. It's a cargo aircraft. Yeah. So maybe we skip this. This time. Tupolev. 204. Looks familiar. So this one is similar to 757, but well, because it is similar and is Russian, so it's very special. So Russian is, well, it been Hong Kong as a freighter, not from Cuba, not from this airline, but yeah, I seen this before. Never, not so lucky to get the opportunity to get in, but yeah, I heard the tire is nearly consumed at that time, and they have no intention to replace. That's Russian. I think that's okay, but not in good shape. Not in good shape if it is a passenger aircraft. If the passengers see that, then you even take a photo, and then your market is done. Obviously not premium airline will do. When the tire got consumed and you see inside the layer, got Russian. Well, that's 757 300 variant is the longest variant, the biggest variant also. I think it's the longest narrow body aircraft ever. That's weird. It looks weird. At least as I know, it takes a lot of time to disembark or embark. Yeah. I've been the 757 for my what the mega airline. I don't know the English, but sorry. Yeah, in the cockpit, like the 767, but nothing really special. It's a huge narrow body aircraft, just that. Interesting, but yeah. 767 United. It looks like a 777 because this variant is 400 variant, so rare. I think it been in Hong Kong for maintenance during the COVID-19, or otherwise I have to go to US to see it. I don't have to. I don't need to, but I just say, yeah. So in the cockpit, I have seen some picture in the internet. The cockpit actually is nearly just the same with the 777, the engine for sure is less powerful, but the winglet is rack wingtip is is just it's just the same. With the 777, you see, yeah. All right, so I think that's it. Oh god, there's another. The 707. Never seen the real thing, but I hope someday will. Yeah, and the Convair. I don't. It's Convair. 990. I know the Cathay Pacific. They have the 880 instead in the old days. But the special but why make this special is because the 990 actually the fastest aircraft ever produced and being record in the old days at that time, during the I don't know, but it's the fastest aircraft. So it's very obvious when you are taking this aircraft from for example, like to from Frankfurt, for example, to London for this aircraft, comparing to, let's say, A350, I can guarantee you the 990 in the old days is much faster. So you will maybe save 15 minutes or maybe 30 minutes. I can't say, but it is obviously faster because if I remember correctly, this aircraft can reach nearly 1,000 kph. I don't know the to convert to the to knots, but it's nearly a Mach 1 number. So, but if you are a pilot right nowadays, you rarely do near Mach 1, right? So so this holds the fastest record in the old days, the 707 era. Before the 747 exists, this aircraft, you see the wing actually swept backward more than nowadays aircraft. Now you see the A320, 321. If you see the 767, 747, you see, that's the difference. If you see the fastest, the faster aircraft, they swept more backward. There's no direct relation, but actually, when you swap backward, that delays the sonic boom. If I elaborate correctly, I hope so. But because I'm not from military, so I don't know a lot to about the supersonic theory. But I just know all these aircraft, they can't reach supersonic except this one. So you have to avoid the Mach number 1. 707 from Jordan. This aircraft, compared to other 707, this aircraft has a more powerful engine. Well, you can challenge me if you, but you have to. The thing I suggest is you try to search this serial number, and you go to internet and you see the difference. The same 707, they can have a more powerful engine, yeah. And this is also a Herpa exclusive. This one also. Yeah. As I said, yeah, I have a huge collection. Well, I try to make it small, but I can't. Well, I stopped it right now. I stopped it to really collecting so much model because I don't have enough space for them. Yeah. But yeah, at last, Air Hong Kong. I've been the simulator in Cafe City. Once upon a time, many years ago, they purchased it from Taiwan, and it's a second hand or third hand, I don't remember. It's very. I was so curious because it's an old aircraft. I born in the 1994. I never seen such old aircraft at that time, and then yeah, seen a lot. This aircraft in Hong Kong airport even now. The only thing bad for this aircraft, I think, is the ground handler. They have to push when the cargo goes in. The pilot, the container goes in. They have to use manpower to push in all the way to the tail, to the end. So that's bad because they have to spend their physical power, physical, this physical job, and then they have to spend effort to push. Yeah. What else? For the model, I think that's it. So I think for this, for models, I think that's it, almost. Yeah. Oh, this one. So this one, I think some people know is another legend for model collector. Is 747 Dream Express from the JAL. It's so hard to get. I don't remember why it is so hard to get, but it's nearly the most expensive Herpa model that you can get. Yeah. What else? Let me try to explain. I think last time, if you're trying to see my YouTube channel, this thing, the A380, the Aviationtag, is actually cut it out from this set A380 from Singapore Airlines. The exact same. This is the real aircraft, and this is my model aircraft. Yeah, this is from the charity auction. I spent a sky-high price to purchase it. If somebody interested to know how much, then actually you will know, but I try not to explain here. And this is another special edition, a B2B project from Aviationtag with a Hong Kong firm. It's a Kai-Tech something, I don't remember. It's a special edition, only exclusive sale in Hong Kong, only 200 pieces only. Yeah. This is the well, I'll try to avoid this. Yeah. This one. Sorry. This is a Porsche 917K Red Line Club. Well, sorry, I think this is a aviation channel. No, so it's actually a recreation channel. So I hope you guys enjoy my video. If you have any question or anything you're interested to know about Herpa model or even the Hot Wheels model, and feel free to ask. And if you like my video and my contents, you please do subscribe, and I hope to see you guys another day. Bye bye.